Blitzers, Nerf Clan, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a couple of videos for you to observe, a couple of great games. First is the FV4202, driven by the one and only Lech the Farmer, and he is in Oasis Palms. He goes to the A side of Oasis Palms, not Lech's usual hunting grounds, but as he said in another video recently, you got to go with the team here. Splitting the team is a really terrible way to, well, it's a great way to lose, let's put it that way. So as you see, the 4202 is a unique tank. I actually don't own it, so unique because I do want it, but not terribly bad. It's not terribly fast, but it's got a great turret, and of course, if you watch Skate Extreme at all, you'll know it's got some amazing hesh. So Lech always talks about the fact that this tank, it's all about our RNG, and there's some good RNG there. Smacks him with APCR, that Conqueror, right in that little strip. And you notice, look at this cannon. Oh, look at that reticule, how small it is. And he's farming the kind of the A base over here, making sure to get that Conqueror back. The team so far is united, but nobody's pushing. They're camping as though this is an encounter or something. I'm not quite sure why. But Lech's in a good position here, and he's got this Leopard 1. He's got no camo on, probably reasonably to assume he's an idiot, and Lech is quickly taking advantage there, although that guy actually, I think, stays around for most of the match. Lech tries to get this kill, but he's working on that ridge over there on his right. You see he's got at least 2 targets, potentially more. There he clears the Leo, and now he realizes he's got actually all 4 of the enemy over there on the right-hand side, including the 183. And the great thing about this 4202 is it does have -10, and you can use that gun depression all day long with the 183, especially with nowadays with the 183 nerf that had about probably a year ago now. Has really made it not very useful. So Lech switches it there, still uses APCR. I would have thought he would have heshed the side of the Conqueror, but Lech knows the sides of tanks and their armor pretty well, so I'm assuming that's not possible. Anyway, he's working on the Conqueror, etc. And unfortunately for him, his team isn't pushing at all, so Lech's having to do literally all the work, which is probably why he had the mastery here. This is actually a beat up game. They didn't have much of a challenge. The reason Lech just did all the damage is his teammate just hung back. And if he hadn't done all the damage and all the work, they probably would have lost. So here he is, already at 2,700 battles, and it's now 5-on-4. He's got an idiot behind him who just got behind him for absolutely no reason and is holding him put. And he is trying to work on this big pig JGPZ, which is not an easy, or it's a risky target. Obviously, the JGPZ can inflict some massive damage. And there comes the Vicker CR. I guess he decided not to attack Lech, which was a very, very stupid move. But the JGPZ is cleared. So now it's a 4-on-3. Things are looking pretty good here, except for the fact that this Vicker CR does have full health. And some terrific DPM in that cannon. So Lech opts to not lose any damage, which is really smart here. Clear off the, oh no, he missed the 183, but luckily his 183 cleared him. And then he's got a little bit of mop-up work to do here, but again, full health with a light tank. That is a bad place to be, but there is a huge hit that guy got from, I think it was the 183 or the grill. That pretty much ended this game. And then you got a noob and a Leopard PTA who was capping A for absolutely no reason whatsoever. They're behind points anyway. Lech quickly dispatches him, rams him for it looked like about 500. And then the end of the game is here. Great job, Lech. Pretty easy mastery. We actually were doing this because there was a glitch the other day that let us master tanks easily in tier 10. Although this was definitely not an easy mastery. It was 1364 base, 4,800 damage, 2 kills. And you can see Lech literally damaged and hurt and beat up their entire team. Tons of awards, etc. Great job, Lech. Next match, Lech is still in there, but you're going to be watching yours truly, Ronan, in the best tank in the game, the E50M. Okay, arguably the best tank in the game, the E50M. And we are going to Seaside of this lovely map. And as you can see here, obviously you should only go to C in this map, in my opinion, unless your makeup is all heavies or something. And quickly, we already had in this position, Lech is further behind me doing this typical Lech the Farmer gig, and we had a 92 E1 that looked like an idiot, and he was pushing up. We also had a Sheridan that I was able to hit on the kind of a lucky snapshot on the way up. But we have a haul down T62 back there. That's a good spot for the 62. And what I'm worried about the whole time here is, where are the two TDs? Because normally you know where the TDs are. They're back in that corner, and I haven't done anything to spot them yet. And sure enough, here, there is one of them. And then these two kind of hide in my way. So my strategy here was to get C-capped. I knew cap would be very important here, and it certainly was. And then I'm trying to get rid of the pesky T92s and also the Sheridan, knowing that I don't want those two missiling me the entire match, etc. So I got C-capped. The Sheridan's hurt. T92 is cleared off. It's a 7 against 6. Things are looking pretty good. But as I said, that T92 is still hauled down, almost lost no damage. And I decided, rather than facing him, to let Lech go deal with him. And I actually was hoping to get shots off here on the two TDs. The problem was I couldn't get him spotted, and then they were behind the building. And that Conway in particular will prove to be a very, very good player, very good tank, and one that almost wins the game for them at the end. Now, that being said, a full health Mouse decides to come and charge himself here into the Valley of Death. And luckily, I showed him why you shouldn't do that. Hopefully, he learned his lesson. Lech's still back there playing around the T62. And then the Mouse is charging toward Lech. I knew I couldn't let that happen, especially as Lech seems to be doing pretty well. And this Mouse is driving backwards, or forward turret on backwards, which means it's great. I can use my 3200 DPM or so to just annihilate him. As I'm doing, Lech gives him a drive-by shooting, and the Mouse disappears. Now we realize we have a VK90P in our spawn sniper spot. Well, that's very bad because he can shoot our entire team from that spot. So when you see that happen, you got to go clear him, or he's going to take the rear end of everybody. Now, I did what we do here when you have the E50M. Even if it's a heavy, you ram him on the side, gave me an extra 300, I believe. Did give me a little bit of damage hit, but I thought it was a still wise thing to do. I hope it was. Try to shoot that spot. I think those are gimmicks, actually. Don't waste your time and effort HEing those spots. I just switched to AP and started taking this guy down with Lech's help here. Right now we're 3 on 4, and we don't know where the hell the other team is. I actually thought this was a really dumb move on my part, waiting for the Conway or the other TDs to get me. But luckily, I was probably deep enough in the valley with that hill there that they couldn't do that. Otherwise, you shouldn't expose yourself that way in that valley. It's a recipe for disaster. Lech hits this guy with a pivotal shot, gives me a chance to clear him, and now we've got a 3 on 3. I am, as you can see, very low in health. I'm a one shot to just everybody here. I think it's a K91 comes over, or T62, and kills Lech. And luckily, the Grill, which starts becoming a very important player in this match, clears him. I fast forward this because the reality is, if you look at the points here, we had all the points in the world. We actually had 760 versus 790. The Grill takes another huge shot, clears the player. It's 2 on 1, game's over. I actually thought this was all over. Said good game to Grill. Lech was telling me just hold, and I felt like this was over. Now the Conway, as I mentioned earlier in the game, the Conway knew what he was doing. Now you noticed Lech earlier told me to go get A, but I didn't think I could crawl out of there. And what happens is they have A, and the Conway, very smart Conway, jumped into C cap. Now he doesn't need to really cap C, and he's full health. All he needs to do is prevent C from adding up points to us, and they could very quickly overtake us, and then he could run back. So I had to actually use, with very little hit points, get him off C cap, because if he capped this, or even just continued to do what he was doing, he was in a position that would cause us problems. So Lech is screaming at our Grill to move up, and you see we were both yelling at him. He finally starts to go here in a second. But again, this Conway, luckily I was able to get a couple of shots into him, being very, very careful here, because if I die, that's immediate big time point switch. And they would be in a point lead, and we had lost. So I'm still trying to get him off C-cap just so we earn enough points. 975, 980, the Grill is still pushing. I'm in a very dangerous spot here. I want him off our base, 985, and it's paused. The Grill moves up, flanks him. That Conway was not looking, he was only looking at me, and pops him for the win. And we win 1,900, and they had about a 950, I think, at that point. So got the mastery, 5,500 damage, 2 kills, 1688 base, and you can see the stats there. Basically, it was a great night. We were trying to get easy masteries. This was definitely not an easy mastery, but a fun one. And for those of you who don't have the E50M, there is no better tank, and certainly no better medium, in my opinion. That Grill, by the way, wasn't a great player, but he played a great game. Thanks everyone for watching the channel. If you haven't, for God's sakes already, subscribe.